Our first guest, an emerging designer from RMIT, and my friend Harrison. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm actually pretty good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
How are you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I can tell you a little bit. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, I currently am studying fashion design at RMIT in
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne. I previously was studying it back in WA, where I'm from, at Curtin University. I transferred last year, mid-year,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been here ever since, and I graduate in a couple months.
Oh,
Yeah, a
exciting.
little bit.
Bit
Um,
stressed?
a little bit stressed.
Yep.
And now we're kind of working on our final collections and also putting together portfolios that we will then use to apply for like professional work in
Oh,
industry.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's pretty much all I've got. Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your design journey so far and what drew you into fashion?
Yeah. Like originally I was studying art and I would kind of always be doing like figures in the body and like representational stuff. So I was
Mm-hmm.
always kind of drawing clothing and figuring out how it worked. So I kind of knew how to make stuff before I could sew it. And then later on, a friend introduced me to that, and I kind of just enjoyed actually making it and having like something produced. So I kind of just ended up in that scheme. So everything I do is like quite visual and about
Okay.
like designed lines and like stuff looking a certain way, but
Okay.
it's also like I'm still just learning the making process. I think more than that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Going off that, what inspires your creative process? Because you mentioned about like the figure, the body, like is that
Mm.
what you would say your creative process is when you're developing new ideas, or do you pull from everyday sort of life?
I think the body is kind of the problems you end up solving for your visual
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You obviously need someone to like be able to move stuff to be comfortable, to
Mm-hmm.
have all these like certain wearable aspects. But really, like, what's more inspiring is stuff outside of like fashion and visual stuff, mostly like music and books and like things that leave a lot to the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I think are more where I get ideas from,
Mm-hmm.
very less, oh, I saw this, I want to make this
Mm-hmm.
in the same way.
Do you take inspiration from other fashion brands, or do you kind of try not to, so then you don't end up like copying them
Um,
in a way you
in
don't enjoy?
terms of, yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of technique, I definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I see something done a certain way, that to me is like a practical like craft
Okay.
way to have a certain finishing or a certain like material that's used at school.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the ideas and the concept, very rarely am I like looking at a designer and being like, oh, I love their whole vibe. I just
Okay.
want to be them,
So
which
you
I
don't
think
really,
is,
yeah, so you don't really copy the visual. You'll like research the brand and see like different techniques that they do.
yeah, it's mostly that's about the practical because I don't really know how to do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, oh, you've done it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I can like use that.
Okay.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, so when you think about authenticity in fashion, what does it mean to you as an emerging designer?
I kind of split authenticity up into two things mainly.
Okay.
One is kind of about an individual,
Mm-hmm.
and how well you can present and kind of display yourself and what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think cultural appropriation in fashion is probably an extreme example of someone just like, oh, I love this thing, I want to show this thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that be my work, and people know me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not actually like them.
Yeah.
They just kind of adopt it. Um, the second's more about kind of like branding and marketing and like showing the overall vibe that you want authentically as well. Like it's so easy for you to adopt a certain genre or like have a certain target audience. Like let's say you want to make like super rave culture stuff and you just have
Mm-hmm.
photos of that, but
Mm-hmm.
you've never been to a rave in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's going to come off kind of cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it's authenticity, it's kind of just about how do you display yourself and also what is your work talking about. And if they're completely different to how you actually live your life, then it's kind of something's gonna fall down. It's a bit fragile,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
I can easily be critiqued and picked apart.
Yeah.
Something like on running is probably a good example of how the marketing is because they kind of got Zendaya as like their figurehead
Mm-hmm.
for that whole thing. Um, and like luckily she runs
Mm.
and has like that kind of aesthetic, but
Yeah.
also with that, I kind of know that that's a bunch of, I think they're Norwegian or something designers, and like
Hmm.
they're not in the sphere of Zendaya core vibe. They're just
Yeah.
adopting Zendaya core. Like I know
Yeah.
it's like that's a big marketing stunt,
Yeah.
and that's going to work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But anyone that kind of understands things is kind of wouldn't want to be associated probably
Exactly.
with that.
Yeah. Hmm.
I know recently Margiela just had their first celebrity endorsement, which was Miley Cyrus, and that
Really?
is like kind of cursed it for me a little bit, at least now.
Really?
Seems like a weird cash grab.
It does, doesn't
It
it?
also doesn't make any sense.
No, because if you think of Mason Margiela, like I wouldn't think Miley Cyrus.
Not at all.
Who would you consider like a Mason Margiela sort of vibe then? Do you know who I would consider?
Yeah.
What's his name? Wisdom from TikTok. He is
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
that
The guy
that
with
yes,
all of the
with
kit. Yeah,
those cool outfits.
exactly. Yeah,
He's yes, I would say him.
yeah.
But would you consider him celebrity? No, but he's
Mm,
very well known
he's
though.
a contemporary
I
celebrity.
think he didn't he style the runway for someone?
He's done a lot of work for things. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he also, I don't know. He is in that sphere of like really unattainable levels of designer stuff.
yeah.
Like he's wearing like a couple $100,000 worth of stuff
Mm.
at a time.
But if you saw it from his beginnings though, as well,
Yeah.
from like, because like when I first followed him on TikTok, he was wearing shit that was
Mm.
like I wouldn't say like cheap necessarily, like,
Mm.
but like we could buy something that's like $200, and like,
Yeah.
but for others you can't. But like that was from his beginnings, and now he's like
Yeah, but
done
that's
that.
their like
Yeah.
that's their target audience. Whereas
Hmm.
like Miley Cyrus, most of
Nah.
her time is like, "Hey, I'm just a country gal, like going to the big city."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not much. That's
No.
not. That doesn't
No.
make
No.
sense. So I think authentically, that's that's cooked.
Yeah.
That's not on. It's cooked. I can say.
Okay. So, do you worry about your designs being copied in the future
Mm.
at all? And if so, like, does this influence you the way that you design and show your work? Like, are you worried now because you're graduating this year? Next year, you're gonna have a big boy job, trying to get a like I don't know. Would you say internship or like for first year? Because I'm not really sure how designers do it, but like, do you do like a first year sort of
It depends on
entry
where you
level thing?
start. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can normally you'll start
Yeah.
and you like do tech packs or like cutting or something. So a lot
Hmm.
of people are already doing that.
Right.
And then you sort of work your way up into a team of designers.
Yeah.
Same as like graphic
Yeah.
design or anything else.
Okay. But
But
yeah, do you worry like you'll come up with a really good idea and the brand that you're working for, like they'll create it, like Cotton On will like then copy like their design, which is technically like, do you know what I'm trying
you're
to say?
saying, I know exactly what you're trying to say. I'll work to what you're trying to get at.
Okay.
When it comes to that kind of copying, obviously when you work for a place, you kind of sign a contract and all the work you do is
Hmm.
under their name.
Hmm.
When it comes to like actually copying my work, like if I did work outside of whatever practice I'm under,
Yeah.
um, honestly, kind of, but not really. Like that stuff is just gonna happen.
Hmm.
I think the automation of that kind of stuff and where design's working towards is kind of like this really how to get from A to B as quickly as possible
Hmm.
is going to leave a lot of room for this like authentic vibe
Hmm.
that you're looking for and the kind of audience that wants that more than they want just
Hmm.
like quick cheap stuff that looks cool and fills the cup of that
Okay.
thing. Um, or like if not getting copied has influenced the work. Um, honestly, also not really because you kind of it's impossible to not get copied if you're going to get copied.
Yeah,
You know,
it's kind of the
yeah, inevitable.
inevitable. Yep.
Yeah,
Because like fashion is so like now with social media, it's just so quick
yeah.
to like as a design to be out there and boom,
But
another another.
also, it's like if you're making something,
Mhm.
the stuff that you're adopting, um, you're either copying or like following a design thing, or you do something new,
Mhm.
and the moment that an image of that hits like a thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's something new," then a couple people are going wow, that's a cool idea. I'm going to borrow at
Yeah.
least something from
Okay.
it.
So does that kind of discourage you from like you love designing, you love fashion,
Yeah.
but does it kind of like in the future would that discourage you from going down that pathway, or would you just like whatever, deal with it?
You kind of just have to
In
deal with it.
yourself,
But
in yourself, it's yours.
it goes throughout the entire process too. Like, say you were the person that came up with the reversible jumper.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are then applying that to hats and to pants and to
Mm-hmm.
like other stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like that's your idea, but there's no patterning like engineering and stuff has.
Yeah.
There's a creative license for what you put out that tries to protect you, but everything
Yeah.
else is like
Do you think it protects enough, or I don't know.
it's easy to work around.
Yeah.
Like if you ever looked into copyright law, it's kind of like
there's so many loopholes.
yeah, once you change something enough,
Yeah.
then technically it's yours.
Yeah.
But even like a good example for that I'd use is like how music just takes and samples other stuff that exists.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, well, that's not a new song, because it obviously is. Like the moment you start changing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, that's where you're like, is this person like just cashing out
Yeah.
on this sample? Are they actually talented and they're just using that as a stepping stone?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's way easy to critique anything once it starts.
Yeah.
Like pulling from another, like not a genre, but someone else that's done the work before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So have you seen examples of fast fashion brands copying for businesses or independent designers at all?
From the top of my head, I don't have anything like concrete as a direct rip or any lawsuits or cases that are going on at the moment. But I definitely know that it happens, and I know that a lot of styles have swapped hands. I know maybe more recently this kind of weird cyber sigilism like look that people were just drawing on pens on stuff and like embroidery on hats and things. I know there's a Melbourne based brand called Funk You.
Oh yeah,
That
I've heard
does
of them.
those.
Yeah.
I know that that's been adopted, and like the clearest like culprits for this is usually like Neo Vision and Cotton
Yeah.
On and H&M and stuff.
Yeah.
Like real, their design pipeline is like they'll have a team of maybe 15 graphic designers.
Yeah.
Then they'll have maybe 2 product testers, but everything else is actually just they already have the patterns made
Yeah.
to manufacture, and all they do is have these people come up with the graphics,
Mm-hmm.
and then they send it off the next day, and they have the next day printed and made and then sent out, and they just make like 1,000 versions of this one idea.
Yeah.
And because they can iterate on the idea so much faster than like a small business can, it kind of just compounds. Even if you love like authentic made stuff, most of the time they're limited runs, they're more expensive, they're sold out. If you see the same thing that you like on an Instagram ad for cheaper, that's still available in your size and stuff, which comes in consideration, then that's kind of where you'll end up going anyway. Like I think most people fall for that.
Yeah.
Even jewelry is a good example.
Oh yeah.
Like the amount of small businesses and like handmade rings and stuff that have been adopted and then just like remade out of like 925 sterling silver for like a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
Even I do the stuff. I'm more inclined just to get the cheaper version.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Because most of the time I can't spend the $2,000 to get a purposeful ring made up.
Okay.
You know?
That's fair.
So I think it's capturing this kind of cohort of people where they're either too young or they don't have the income to kind of afford the taste they have, or they're a little bit blind to the whole system and they just think that, oh, that's a cool shirt, I want that shirt, that's it. Like I'll just go buy it. Like,
I like the shirt, but then I'll go, Cotton On will come out with it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's very surface level for so many people.
Yeah. So does that make you like? How does that make you feel? Like you going into that industry soon? Does that just make you feel like what the hell? Like
kind of, yeah. Well, especially those aspects. Like I could never just make kind of straight Uniqlo level clothing.
No.
It always has to be something a little bit different, and then I want to constantly evolve anyway.
Yeah.
And like I hope that I can do it fast enough to avoid that.
Yeah.
But in reality, I kind of feel like yeah, everything that I do, especially the more simplified
Mhm.
versions of it, like your t-shirt and your cool cut lines and
Mhm.
like your nice tracksuit pant, like even like needles and the like Adidas, like the 3 stripes on the side of the boot.
Yes, yeah,
Like
I've
that
seen.
didn't come from Adidas.
Where did it come from then?
I think it's like a German company originally, ages ago, like in the 50s. Yeah.
Really? Because I see so many brands like, because I think of Adidas when I see the stripes,
Yeah.
and I've seen so many brands do pants
Hmm.
with the stripes down the side, and I think about Adidas immediately.
Yeah. What happens is like the branding of Adidas, technically they can have ownership over those 3 stripes. Like on the side of the shoe, like you can't just put an N because obviously like New Balance will sue you up the wall.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure either recently or in the last little while,
Mhm.
everyone's finding loopholes in that pattern for like the 3 stripes. Because
Yeah.
obviously, if you look it up, you could find they'll have a document that's like you have to have the stripes here and
Mhm.
they have to be this width apart. Like
Right.
they're very
Okay.
specific about it.
Mhm.
And because of all that information like collectively gathered,
Yeah.
all these brands are like, oh, I can just put the stripes a little bit further apart or make them thinner or like add this other logo. Yeah, probably a good example for that. And
Yeah.
like if you go to White Fox right now, guarantee there's like a 2-stripe pant or like something that's like the exact same.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, do you think imitation, this whole idea of imitation, discourages, like, we've got new designers constantly coming in, and like our new like Generation Z is going to have new designers and everything. Do you think it will discourage new designers from experimenting or taking risks because they're like, well, I'm just going to be copied, like, or would they, do you reckon, be like, I want to be so niche that when someone tries to copy me, everyone will think of my brand?
Yeah, no, I think it's that. I think that every generation that comes through is a product of kind of their surroundings. And this cohort now is the product of just like you can get anything you want and the way you want to look with a pretty small budget
Yeah.
pretty quickly. And everyone kind of thinks that that's a bit lame. And everyone's kind of just doing really like strange, weird stuff.
Especially in Melbourne, I feel.
Especially in Melbourne, especially in places that like
Yeah.
allow it. But places like certain areas and circles in Europe have influenced here. And
Oh,
I think
definitely.
here is influencing places like Perth back home and stuff that
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
don't have that culture as much. They still have like much more of a balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like the white sneakers jean t-shirt situation that like guys and girls are wearing. That is that's kind of the Neovision White Fox circles. Like anything that comes out of there now, everyone already knew for weeks it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think it discourages new people. Like as long as you're making stuff
Yeah.
that is cool and interesting and like you, there's always going to be a few people that kind of love it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely just hard not to get lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially business wise and trying to make money.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where the discrepancy is. Like if you're talking about integrity for design, it's hard to find someone that has that hasn't been copied and like torn to shreds and someone's made a couple $1,000s off the backs of them easily.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like trying to monetize authenticity is kind of impossible.
Yeah. Have you noticed with social media, with how we're also tech savvy and everything, have you noticed how social media can blur the line between originality and copies? Because like I'll get something on my TikTok For You page and it will be the copy before I see the original, because then I'll go to the comments and I'll be like, oh, isn't this a dupe of so and so? So like, how does that affect your thinking as a designer? Because like if you post something on social media of your like a design that you have, like you do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just who gets there first wins, but sometimes it's who does it better.
Okay.
I don't have any concrete examples, but I know the like let's say I made a really cool shoe design. Like I know something like Puma Speed Cats have come into popularity recently.
Yeah, they really have.
They've been back around for a while, but they've like recirculated.
Everything recircles.
But now there's all these kind of variations of that kind of shoe.
Yeah.
Like we saw with the Summer thing.
Yeah.
Like you got the Alohas and like all the different like.
Hey, yes, the Alohas.
I want to be that, but new and different.
Yeah.
That kind of happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is like who is getting this content fastest, because most people will kind of see it, and the first thing they see they'll assume is the first thing that
Yeah.
makes it.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people are going to research.
Yeah.
Like no one has time for that.
Yeah.
Like
No one has
if
time.
we're in industry, then obviously we do research and we do it. But most people that buy and like have clothes, they
want
have a
it then
full
and there.
life.
Yeah.
Like that's just maybe a 5% of their whole life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, more people are involved in like what they're eating these days than like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like no one cares sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you can get a cool photo and a cool spread out quickly,
Exactly. Yeah.
people are just gonna think you made it up.
Yeah.
And like later on, you can get sued and get cease and desists, but it's kind of hard to have like proper backlash for that kind of thing. You know?
Because you know what? You're cancelled, and then you can always just start up again. Everyone forgets.
But also, if I sell you something,
Mm-hmm.
you create a contract with me, and you are now owner of that product.
Yeah.
Technically, the government can't go through me and get that back.
Mm.
So all that can happen is cease making this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly if you've copied something, like a photo is really similar
Mm-hmm.
to an existing like marketing thing that you've stolen, you can get sued for that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the actual design stuff, you can only just get cease and desist.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Kind of cursed.
Kind of cursed. Okay, last question.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? If your
Yeah.
designs were ever imitated, because I've seen a couple of your designs, they're really cool. If they were ever imitated, pardon?
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay.
Trust me. I've seen your design process. It's awesome.
Okay,
but
cool.
if you designs were ever imitated, how do you think you would respond? Like if you post something like if you had your own business, you posted your design, then you saw Cotton On or you saw like Shein literally do the exact copy. How do you think like you would respond, like creatively, legally, like personally? Like do you not care? Do you care?
If it was a direct rip, I'd probably post. I'd just do everything I can verbally to make it known.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, if you see this, don't buy this. I made this. They copied me.
Yeah.
I don't have the legal manpower or a team behind me to do that.
Yeah.
If I was working for a business, then I probably would.
Yeah.
And they would.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it would just be like word of mouth, just kind of got them.
Yeah.
At least for the people that I actually care about seeing my work.
You'd be disappointed.
My
You'd just
biggest
be like,
fear wouldn't be that someone made the money. It would be someone saw me and was like, "Oh, you just copied this. You just copied Cotton On."
Yeah,
that someone flipped it on me.
Yeah,
I'd be way more scared.
Because there are people who love like that necessarily don't have any idea about fashion. They love Cotton On and they think Cotton On's original.
Yeah, because they think new stuff comes out of there.
Yeah,
that some geniuses are there doing like amazing stuff, which I'm sure there's a couple smart people hanging out at Cotton On. I'm sure there's cool people.
Yeah.
But honestly, like no one that's actually interested in the industry will ever source or cite or talk about it ever. But that's not even including like the sustainability and the waste factor and like the unnecessary making of things.
Yeah.
I think that made to order and other like slow fashion practices have changed a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And people.
So I feel like slow fashion practices have come back a lot in small businesses. A lot.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing to see, but disappointing to see those fast fashion brands do that to those small businesses who are doing it the right way, who are trying to be niche, who are trying to be there for people, the environment, and it's just like shit.
Even with that though, like made to order comes with those same problems because you have to pay more and it takes longer. And some people just don't have the patience or time. And even people that do, if your wardrobe's like, I don't know, 40 or 50 pieces, you might only do it for one or two. You can't do it for everything.
No, yeah.
Like you'll still go to Levi's and get a pair of jeans. But then like if you've got a cool jacket style that you want to nail, you might be like, oh, I have this person that I know works in like Melbourne and they make this cool handmade, hand woven stuff. For like the the centerpieces you will, but for everything else, and especially like staple stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you will still go to like Uniqlo or like
Yeah.
kind of just like more cheaply made, quick
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I think that's probably where the biggest distinction will be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone wearing like probably more eye-catching pieces and stuff
Yeah.
will have put more time and effort and research into those.
Yeah.
And then anything else that becomes like the plain white t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
will become a little bit more, oh, you can just get that
Yeah.
anywhere. And here's like cheap variations for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which you see all the time too. Like the amount of reels I see where it's like, oh, you like this shirt, but you can't afford it. Like here's 5 like cheap variations that
Mm-hmm.
you can get from another place.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. So overall, you just were like, whatever. It is what it is.
it is what it is.
You can't help it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Thank you for today, Harrison.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did really good.
Thank you. You did too.
Yeah,
Thank you. I hope your graduation goes well and design journey goes well.
touche.
I can't wait to see what
Mm.
you come up with. I'm actually very excited.
Touche.
Hopefully no one copies.
Hopefully no one copies.